Good morning to one and all. Today our topic is band theory of solids. Band theory of solids. See the introduction of band theory of solids. Generally we know chemical substances are three states. One is solid state, second one is liquid state, third one is gaseous state. In this video we discuss solid state. Solid state, the atoms are arranged in close packing arrangement. In liquid state, the atoms are freely moved. In gaseous state, the atom's distance is very high when compared to liquid. In this video, see, in solids, the atoms are arranged in a systematic space lattice, and each atom is influenced by neighboring atoms. Each atom is influenced by neighboring atoms. The closeness of atoms result in the intermixing of electrons of neighboring atoms. The closeness of atoms results in the intermixing of electrons of neighboring atoms. Okay, here atoms are arranged in a systematic space lattice and each atom is influenced by neighboring atoms. Okay, that is the solid state. See, generally the solid state substances are three types. One is conductors, semiconductors, insulators. First of all, see insulator. Based upon energy is in y-axis. On the x-axis, band's position. Okay, here in an insulator, the forbidden gap is very large and in general is more than 3 electrovolts. In between the valency band and conduction band, the forbidden gap is very large, in general is more than 3 electrovolts. More than 3 electrovolts. In this between gap is very high in insulator material. That is more than 3 electrovolts gap. Next one, no electron is available for conduction. In insulator material, there is no electron is available for conduction. Next one, large amount of energy is needed to move electron from valency band to conduction band. Here, whenever the valency band electron is jumps to conduction band, we require large amount of energy. That is the insulator character. Large amount of energy is needed to move electron from valency band to conduction band. Next one, see semiconductor character. In semiconductor character, the forbidden gap is very small at 0 Kelvin. The conduction band is empty and the valency band is completely filled. Here in semiconductor, the forbidden gap is very small at 0 Kelvin. It's around 0.7 electrovolts in germanium, 1.1 electrovolts in silicon, that's enough. 0.7 electrovolts in germanium, 1.1 electrovolts in silicon. Okay, the forbidden gap between valency band to conduction band. In the case of semiconductor, the valency band is completely filled. Conduction band is the vacant band. Conduction band is empty. Valency band is completely filled. When a small amount of energy is supplied, the electrons can easily jump the forbidden gap. Whenever we supply small amount of energy, the electron is easily jumps from valency band to conduction band. The conductivity of a semiconductor is of the order of 10 square Mohs meter inverse. 10 square Mohs meter inverse, where Mohs is nothing but ohm opposite. Ohm opposite is Mohs. That is, ohm inverse is nothing but Mohs. This is the semiconductor condition. See conductor character. In conductor, there is no forbidden gap. This conductor, there is no forbidden gap. The valency band and the conduction band, the electrons moves from valency band freely enter into the conduction band due to overlapping of bands. Here valency band, here conduction band, there is no forbidden gap. That's why the electrons are easily moves from valency band to conduction band. Therefore, very low potential difference can cause continuous flow of current. Therefore, very low potential difference can cause continuous flow of current, that is the conductors. See, electrons and holes in semiconductor. Electrons and holes in semiconductor. At absolute zero temperature, in a pure semiconductor, the valency band is completely filled and the conduction band is vacant. In a semiconductor, in a pure semiconductor, the valency band is completely filled and the conduction band is vacant. Okay, that is the electrons and holes in semiconductor. Next one, generally semiconductors forbidden gap is very small. We should fulfill this gap by using doping technique. In doping technique, we add impurities material. Those are dopant substances to fulfill the gap between valency band to conduction band in semiconductor. The doping techniques are two types. One is P doping, another one is N doping. One is P doping, another one is N doping. First of all, see what is P doping. What is P doping? Here in P doping, group 13 atoms added to the silicon material to create hole because of these atoms have 3 valency electron. Group 13 atoms. Group 13 atoms is nothing but boron family. Boron family. Boron family elements are added to the silicon material. Silicon material. Here silicon is the semiconductor material. Silicon or germanium, these two are best semiconductor materials. Group 13 atoms added to the silicon material which creates hole because of these atoms have 3 valency electrons. These atoms have 3 valency electrons. These are the trivalent impurities. Tri means 3. 3 valency electrons, that's why trivalent impurities. 13th group atoms are trivalent atoms, trivalent impurities. Here example boron. Boron is the example of P doping, a dopant material. Next one, see N doping technique. In N doping technique, group 15 atoms added to the silicon material. Group 15 atoms added to the silicon material to create extra surplus electron. Because of these atoms have 5 valency electron. Group 15 atoms are pentavalency impurities. Pentavalency means 5 valency electrons in its level. Group 15 atoms are added to the silicon material. It creates a extra surplus. Because of silicon valency is 4 electrons, but we should add 5 electrons. There is an excess electron. That excess electron is nothing but extra surplus electron. Because of these atoms have 5 valency electron. Here example, phosphorus. Phosphorus is the 15th group atom. Okay, nitrogen family is nothing but 15th group atoms. P means, where P doping, P means positive charge. P means positive charge hole. Positively charged hole is delocalized in P doping semiconductor. N doping means negatively charged surplus electron is delocalized in N doping semiconductor. N means negatively charged surplus electron. P means positively charged hole. That is the P doping and N doping. We should see the diagrammatical representation. Formation of P-type material. These are all silicon atoms. Okay, silicon valency is 4 valency. Okay, we should add boron impurity. That is the 13th group element. Boron valency is only 3 valency. Okay, these are the 3 valency. 3 bonds form. There is a 1 deficiency valency. This deficiency valency to form a hole, that is the missing electron. Hole is missing electron. That is the deficiency of electron. That is missing electron. This positive charge is delocalized entire P-type material, that is P-type semiconductor. See, N-type semiconductor. In N-type semiconductor, these are all silicon material, silicon atoms. Silicon atoms added to phosphorus. Here, phosphorus is the pentavalent impurities. Phosphorus is pentavalent impurities. We should add phosphorus impurities to the silicon material. Here phosphorus having 5 valency electrons. But our favorable electrons are only 4 electrons. It's already formed 4 bonds. There is a 1 excess electrons. That is the extra electron. Extra electron means surplus electron. These surplus electron, these negative charge electrons mobilized entire the N-type material, that is N-type semiconductor material. That's enough. These are the doping technique and solid states, conductor, semiconductor, insulator. Once again I revise the topics present in this video. Okay, here our topic is band theory of solids. In band theory of solids, introduction. In solids, the atoms are arranged in a systematic space lattice and each atom is influenced by neighboring atoms. The closeness of atoms results in the intermixing of electrons of neighboring atoms. In this one, solids substances are 3 materials according to electrical property: insulator, conductor, semiconductor. First of all, see insulator. In an insulator, the forbidden gap. In an insulator, the forbidden gap is very high. In an insulator, the forbidden gap is very large and in general is more than 3 electrovolts. This is the forbidden gap. In this forbidden gap is very high in insulator. No electron is available for conduction. Okay, there is no electron present for conduction. Here there is a large amount of energy is needed to move electron from valency band to conduction band. Here we require large amount of energy to move electron from valency band to conduction band. Next one, semiconductor. In the case of semiconductor, the forbidden gap is very small. That means it's around 0.7 electrovolts in germanium, 1.1 electrovolts in silicon. At 0 Kelvin, conduction band is empty and the valency band is completely filled in semiconductor. When a small amount of energy is supplied, the electrons can easily jump from valency band to conduction band. The conductivity of a semiconductor is of the order of 10 square Mohs meter inverse. Here the conductivity is 10 square Mohs meter inverse. Here Mohs is nothing but ohm inverse. Ohm is nothing but resistance unit. Resistance opposite is conductance. That why conductance units are Mohs. Here the conductivity of a semiconductor is 10 square Mohs meter inverse. Next one, conductors. In conductors there is no forbidden gap. There is no forbidden gap because of the valency band and the conduction band. The electrons easily jumps from valency band to conduction band because of there is no forbidden gap. These bands are completely overlapping of bands. Okay, therefore very low potential difference can cause continuous flow of current. That is the conductors. Okay, electrons and holes in semiconductor at 0 Kelvin temperature, at absolute 0 temperature. In a pure semiconductor, the valency band is completely filled and the conduction band is vacant. In semiconductor condition is valency band is completely filled. This valency band is completely filled. Conduction band is empty. Okay, we should produce very small amount of energy. The valency band electron is easily moves from valency band to conduction band. See the doping techniques, p-doping and n-doping. P-doping means group 13 atoms are added to the silicon material to create a hole because of these atoms have 3 valency electrons. But our wanted electrons are 4 electrons because of silicon valency is 4. So silicon requires 4 electrons, but we should provide only 3 electrons. There is a 1 electron deficiency. That's why group 13 atoms forms positively charged hole. These positively charged holes moves entire the semiconductor, that is the p-doped semiconductor. Example is boron. Boron element is the p-doping material. Next one, n-doping. Group 15 atoms added to the silicon material to create extra surplus electron because of these atoms have 5 valency electrons. Okay, here silicon valency is 4 valency, 4 electrons, that's enough, but we should provide 5 valency electrons. 1 electron is excess electrons, that is the surplus electron. In this n-doping technique, the surplus electron is moves entire the semiconductor, that is the negatively charged electron, that is n-doping technique. See the diagrammatical representation, p-type material, we should add boron. Boron have only 3 electrons, but we require 4 electrons. 1 electron is deficiency. That's why boron produce a hole, that is the missing electron. This hole moves entire the semiconductor, that is the p-type. Next one, n-type material. In n-type material, we should add pentavalent impurities which have 5 valency electrons, but we should require only 4 electron. 1 is excess electron, that is extra electron. Surplus electron moves entire the semiconductor, that is n-type semiconductor. That's enough, students. Thank you for listening. This is the band theory of solids. I hope you should clear about band theory of solids. What is semiconductor, what is conductor, what is insulator, what is doping, p-doping, n-doping, how to represent p-doping and n-doping. Okay, is it clear? Thank you, students.